This is the story how Ding Liren became the world champion. We are watching his progress from the very beginning. Knight h2. This move with only 9 years old, it's impressive. He attacked the rook, so white has to move. And again, another knight sacrifice. White decided to take the pawn because nothing was helping. If he tries to take the knight with a pawn, then we can take. And look at this, it is checkmate. But if you think that he can take the knight with his knight, look at this one. He takes and we also have checkmate. It's simply not working, but this pawn is also hanging, so let's try to take it, white thought. So white took the pawn and sacrificed knight again. This time white decided to take, and black played queen to e2, threatening everything. You can see something, that's a silent move. And remember that, because it will be very important later on, when we look at other games. You will see that Ding Liren is sacrificing pawns, sacrificing knight, and playing silent moves in the end. Trying to protect this square f3, but it's not helping, because we can simply take, and the end. He was only 9 years old, and this game shows enormous potential. Look at this, it's already checkmate. Let's see another one. This one was played in 2004, and he's already playing like grandmaster. Let's sacrifice knight again, why not? I mean, white has to take, or he's a pawn down. Let's take again, queen e3, bishop f5, and look at this, all of his pieces are playing, except of two. And that is the rook on a8 and the rook on f8. But don't worry, we have some more moves. And look at this pawn on b4. This pawn is going to be important in every game. Ding loves his b-pawns. Just remember those tricks, because they are all the same every game. White desperately trying to play something, at least not to be under attack, but it's not helping. Let's go, the first rook. We can sacrifice it, we have another one. But first b-pawn. If he suddenly plays a3, we can just take the rook. So that's why he played knight c3 and covered his rook, also protecting the mate. But look at this, we can simply take, and knight to e2. Of course, the same idea, 7th row, familiar. So let's just see what happens. Queen to d1, and let's have some threats. White decided to give up. I mean, what can he do? He just took the pawn and simply lost the game. We are still looking, because the very end is very interesting. Queen to a2, and let's make some problems for white, and let's move him all around the board till he resigns. Don't be like white. When you see that it's completely hopeless, just resign. Black was almost FIDE master, and white still played. I mean, come on. It's game over. Don't be like white. And we're moving to the next game, played in 2008. He was winning with players near 2500 elo, so he could beat grandmasters easily. Let's see. e5, let's just sacrifice. I mean, we can't sacrifice bishop, we can't sacrifice knight, so let's start with a pawn. Black takes, knight e7, giving some check, and it's time for our b-pawn. What did you expect? Of course, in every game, sacrificing b-pawn, rooks, and the end. Queen has to move, and one more check, and the rook came to play. Yeah, you guessed it. It's either game over or he will sacrifice something. Let's see. Black moved some pieces, white improved his pieces, and it's time for the final sacrifice. So the game is over. If he takes, let's just see, it's checkmate, but you know. Is it like that in every game? That you will find out. We are looking at a game from 2011. Here he already had 2650 elo and won against 2682. He was already professional, he was already making money, but the principles are same and the sacrifices are there. Let's just sacrifice, let's start with a pawn. Now let's bring pieces to the game. If we can't bring light pieces, then we can bring queen. Let's just continue. Let's bring the rook to the game. The bishop is also there. And you know the deal, the b-pawn again. Without the b-pawn, it's simply not the same. Let's just take the bishop and make room for some other pieces that are going to come to the play, like this knight to e4. And the rook, you know, the last piece is there, so it's time to win the game. No exchange, of course. Knight slowly moves to the end of the board. Rook is also attacking h7 square. And of course, knight goes again to the 7th row. The game is simply over. If queen takes, we simply take the rook, and we are also taking the queen. Let's move to the next game fast. The next game is from 2015. Here he had 2700 elo, and in first 14 moves he sacrificed 3 pieces. Let's look. e6, what a surprise. You know we are starting with pawn sacrifice. And now the first piece. Black takes retake, and time for the second piece. Knight e4. So black takes. The point was to activate all of our pieces like this bishop on c1. So let's see what happened, and the bishop comes to play. Black was just trying to cover himself up, but it didn't help because our knight comes to play. He went to g6 because if he just moves to e8, then there's a checkmate into queen h5, and after rook f7, queen f7 checkmate. So that's why he played king g6. In this moment, white simply decided to take queen because it's free and won the game. Let's just see because it actually happened in game. And game over. Moving further, let's see the next game. Here just a simple example that he was not only winning in middle games, but he also knew how to play endgames, like this one. Material is completely equal, but he has bishop and black has knight. So in few moves he just won the game easily. He just pushed his pawns, and then another pawn, and another pawn, and just slowly continuing. So king g3, and black doesn't have anything to play. If black plays d3, then white can simply play king f3 and it's simply game over. But if black decides to play king e4, then we have one checkmate. Look at this, f6, and if he also plays with his pawns, look at this, checkmate. So white simply won the game, and let's move further. Where he finally has 2800 elo and is playing against Magnus Carlsen, where he also won the game. This is our position, and you know what he did. He sacrificed, and not pawn, not piece, but queen. Queen g7. King takes g7, another queen comes to the game, black moves his king, queen attacks again, where he actually won the game. If black plays king e5, then queen d4, and if black plays king g6, then queen g8, and look at this mate. He is a brilliant chess player. He played for so many years and won against world champion, and he actually became world champion. But that game you will see in further videos. Subscribe to our channel and see you soon.